Hi guys, Mrs. Bain here. We're going to go over the directions for today's project that you're going to do with the guest teacher. Everybody's going to get a manila file folder. First thing you're going to do is put your name on the tab. And then you're going to add your class code. We're going to open up our folder and we're going to flip it so your name is on the back. And then we're going to be painting this. If you sit at a warm colored table, you're going to have warm colors to use. You will have red, yellow, and orange paint. If you are going to sit at a cool colored table, you're going to have cool colors to use. So you will have green, blue, and purple paint. Before I start painting on mine, I'm going to go over just a couple directions with the paint and reminders of our painting rules. So every table is going to get a water bucket. Your water bucket should be halfway filled or less. Every person is going to get a paintbrush and a piece of paper towel. So some reminders with the paintbrushes. We use them gently. We should be just swirling to get them clean. You can gently dab it on the bottom of the water bucket, but there should be no scrubbing. We're not trying to clean the bottom of the water bucket, we're just trying to clean your paintbrush. When you pull it out of the water, you should just be gently rubbing it on the side of your water bucket, not tapping. What happens when we tap? The water splashes and you might get it on somebody else's artwork. Also, when you're rinsing, no tidal waves. Okay, we do not want water coming up and out of our bucket. It also will make a mess on the table. Now, after you're done gently cleaning your paintbrush, rub it gently on the sides. You can check it on your piece of paper towel to see if it's clean. If it's not clean, repeat. If it's clean, you can get a new color. You have to clean your paintbrush every time you get a new color. I'm going to use cool colors on my folder. So this is going to be turned into a sketchbook. So just in case you want to keep that in mind. So I'm going to have green, blue, and purple paint. Now, do I want to mix all those colors together in here? Probably not. So you can come up with some kind of design or pattern. Maybe I want to color all my background green. That's okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and start painting it. As I need more of the same color, I don't need to rinse my paintbrush off because I'm just getting more green. I'm not going to paint my whole thing just to save us some time. But the paint's going to dry pretty quickly. I'm going to clean my paintbrush off. And now I can go through with my blue and my purple and maybe add some designs on top of my green. So I'm going to come up with like a pattern. I think I'm going to do some blue dots. I'm going to clean my paintbrush. Now I'm going to do some purple lines. Now you can see my purple starts to get a little bit transparent here where I can see through it. If I just let that dry a little bit longer, I can go back and put some more on top of it. And then solid again. I know it looks really dark on the computer screen, and it's hard to tell the difference between the blue and the purple on top of the green. But looking at it up close in person, you will be able to see the difference. Now, I was going to do a pattern on mine. You don't have to do a pattern on yours. Okay. In addition to being able just to paint and use the paintbrushes, we also have some paint scrapers that you'll be able to use. Some of you may have used these last year, but I know not everybody has, so I'm going to go over some directions on how to use them. So you have a couple choices. We can start with the base color. So I know I was doing blue or green before. I'm going to switch to blue. I'm going to get my background painted. Okay, while my paint is still wet, I can use the scraper and scrape. And it's just going to give me a little bit of a design still with the blue paint. If I want to put another color on top, here's where I have a couple more choices. I can take my paint scraper and actually paint some paint right on it. Now this is going to take the longest. It's going to take the longest, and it doesn't quite work as well as the second way I'm going to show you, but you can put a little bit of paint on the edge and then scrape it on. And you can see it's going to make some green lines. The other choice would be I'm going to take some green paint. In this part, you kind of want to work on the top where my blue is already dry. So I think this part seems pretty dry here. I'm going to paint some green on top of it. And then I like to scrape towards myself, so I still want my lines to come, actually I'm going to have them come up. So I'm going to turn my folder around. You don't have to do this, this is just the way I like to do it. And then I'm going to take my scraper and scrape over that. So now I have the blue lines are coming up through the green because I scraped away green paint. And some of the green paint went over here on the blue. It's hard to see on the smartboard, but I can see it in person. I can take these and do them any way I want to. So if I wanted to do a little bit of purple, maybe. I could take my paint scraper and do a little swirl. So, and all the paint scrapers are a little bit different, so it'll give you different types of lines. You do just need to cover your whole thing in paint. Only the outside though, so the top part of our folder, front and back. And then we're going to carefully carry them over to the drying rack to dry. So just a reminder, your name was here, and when you fold it open, your name is now on the back. Okay, so if for some reason when you're painting you can see your name, then you didn't flip yours over, and that's okay, just don't paint over top of it so we know whose is whose when we go to pass them back next week. And like you said, these are going to become sketchbooks, and we'll talk more about what we're going to do with our sketchbooks next week. I hope you have a great day with the guest teacher and look forward to hearing that you were on your best behavior. I forgot as a reminder when it's time to clean up, we're not cleaning the paint palettes out. We're going to use them for the next class. And if you run out of a color, if you need it, let the guest teacher know we can put more colors in it. You may not get up and walk around to another table to use colors at a different table. When it's time to clean up, a sink captain should be helping clean all the paintbrushes and the water buckets. Make sure your paintbrushes are nice and clean and their hair in the air so we keep them nice for the next class. Thanks. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next week.